Hey yo YouTube, MusicMan1310 here, and this is another episode of Rolls to a Pro Team, not the Road to the Pros. I messed up last week. Hopefully you guys saw it in a little footnote that I put at the beginning of the videos. But anyways, this time we're going to be going over the Slayer role. Now, quick question, 2 seconds time. What's the first thing that you hear of when you think of a Slayer? Time's up. You probably think that it's practically the guy that goes positive at every game, like, and by positive I mean like double, triple positive a game on matches. They probably go double positive consistently in ranked matches or in game battles or UMG online or whatever other competitive gaming thing you use. And most of the time, you're probably correct. These are the guys that just go on a kill spree in first-person shooters. There's really not much to say about these guys except that they play a really good role on the teams, not because of their slaying capabilities, but most Slayers, believe it or not, are also supporters at the same time. Because the role of a Slayer is to pretty much bring down as many people as possible. So the objective guy can actually play the objective properly. You see how this is all tying out together? I ended with the Slayer because that's the one that a lot of people completely praise, but at the same time they really don't do much except also combine their slaying capabilities with the roles of a supporter. Now, with that in mind, some of them do actually play the objective. Somebody play around the objective. Pretty much when you're the Slayer, you have open doors. You can be whatever position you want because you know how to stay alive longer. You know, in fact, you might even know how to stay alive the longest. So being a Slayer kind of opens a lot of opportunities to contribute to the team, and you're kind of flexible on that as well, because I've seen Slayers like, okay, let's go with some of the pros. I've seen Slayer like Formal and Scump, and even, well, I don't know if Exit's a Slayer, but I'm gonna consider him one because he's really good. They all play the objective role sometimes as well. Sometimes they go with the anchor role. Sometimes they go with the support role. So these Slayers, they're really like free-willed, and that's all because they know how to play the game. Really, actually, no, I shouldn't say that because everybody knows how to play the game, but these Slayers know how to stay alive the longest possible. Now, some Slayers do get shut down, some Slayers don't get off, because think of it this way. When you're a Slayer, you're probably thinking that, oh, it's going to be easy to get 2.0 KDs at least each game. But then, say you're off to a rough start. You go 0-5 in the first 2 minutes of the game. That's kind of degrading in a sense. So it kind of makes you work harder to try to get to that 2.0 versus a Slayer going 3-1 within the first round of Search and Destroy, for instance. I'm just using these as examples. But the whole point of this is that when you're a Slayer, it really depends on where the momentum lies. Really, a lot of Slayers are really dependent on momentum. If they start off good, then they're gonna stay good for the rest of the series. If they start off bad, then they're gonna have to work harder if they're really dedicated, which most Slayers are. And if you're a Slayer and you decide to just give up after a rough start, then I don't really know what else to say to you other than, hey, you gotta work harder. But as far as momentum swings, it also pretty much ties around with what happened with the team. Now, not all Slayers play like this. There are some Slayers that just can go off even after a rough start. But those are the best Slayers, in my opinion. The ones that can actually go off after a rough start. And I've seen that happen. I've done it myself, and I don't consider myself a Slayer, more or less. I've seen myself that by the halftime, I'm going like 15 and 23. I had to think of a couple of numbers because I'm not really consistent with my slaying capabilities. But then by the second half, I go on a tear. I get bloodthirsties. I get 9 kill spree. sprees. I go off on a tear, and some of that is because okay, I know what I did wrong in the last half. I'll try not to make the same mistakes again. And I kind of predict my opponents now that way. But most Slayers, what they do is that they already know what they did wrong, and the next minute they've already fixed it. Me, it takes me a whole half of a game to do that. Most Slayers do it within less than a minute, which is really good when you think about it. But really, the whole purpose of a Slayer is to be flexible because you're the one that's actually needs to carry the team, so to speak. So, if I were to compare this to League of Legends again, I know that I'm going to be comparing a lot to League of Legends. In fact, I was trying to avoid it this episode, but I really can't. But the Slayers are the ones that pretty much go on a merciless spree, so to speak. And these merciless spree are just the edge that the team needs, really, to really just push it all the way home, win the series, and bada bing, bada boom, there's your championship right there. So, anyways, that's really all that I have to say. So, while we are done with the in-game roles of a pro team, we've done support, we've done objective, we've done anchor, and we've just finished Slayer. There's going to be other roles that's really more person type roles instead of game type roles, because a lot of these game type roles I've been comparing to other games. Let's face it. So what I'm gonna do to continue on this series is to talk about the roles each person has. Actually, there's roles that each person has to do. There's even one role that it's preferred to have one, but if you have a whole group of them, then it really doesn't make a difference. But anyways, I'm talking too much. But leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, and tune in next week for captain role. That's right, the leadership role. I do have Twitter. It'll be in the description below. And this is MusicMan1310 signing out. Peace.